Well, news just coming in. We are now learning that the Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in China to meet with Xi Jinping. And to mark the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, Putin has said that the Belt and Road Initiative fully meets and coincides with Russian interests. But the summit, of course, is likely to be overshadowed by the Israel-Hamas war. We're going to play out those pictures for you in just a bit of the Russian President Vladimir Putin arriving in China to meet Xi Jinping. Of course, there are going to be lots of things that will be on agenda. One of them, obviously, is going to be to seek weapons as well as ammunition. Now, do remember that Russia is still in that conflict with Ukraine, and what we are given to understand is that the meeting is taking place in He, which is along China's border with Russia, and we are also told that this meeting is largely being seen as one to shore up an alliance against the West and also celebrate, of course, China-Russia ties. Pictures on your screen are of Vladimir Putin arriving in this border town between Russia and China. There will, of course, later be a meeting in Beijing as well. This is something that is likely to underscore their shared vision for a new international order that is no longer largely dominated by the United States and its democratic allies. So in that sense, this meeting gains a lot of importance. Now, obviously, it will also come as the geopolitical fault lines that we see are now hardening with the conflict that we are seeing in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas, and the world's concern over it now broadening into a larger conflict. Now, do remember that this is perhaps the first visit of Vladimir Putin following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So in that sense, it becomes even more important. And Beijing and Moscow both, of course, have criticized Israel's actions and called for a ceasefire in the latest that we have from those two countries on the conflict between Israel and Hamas. So Putin, of course, has put this as a meeting of allies. Now, the Supreme Court will today give its verdict on the same-sex marriage. The Constitution bench of 5 judges will give out a verdict. The Supreme Court, during the hearing, is supposed to decide whether same-sex marriages can be legalized or not.
The Supreme Court is all set to deliver its verdict on the batch of petitions seeking legal recognition for same-sex marriages in India. The judgment will be delivered on the basis of 20 petitions challenging the provisions of the Special Marriage Act 1954, Hindu Marriage Act 1955, and the Foreign Marriage Act 1969. On April 18, 2023, a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court began hearing petitions seeking legal recognition for same-sex marriage.
Criminality is now gone. The unnatural part or the order of nature under 377 is now effaced from our statute book, and therefore our rights being equal in all forms, which are, my lord, reflected from Puttu Swami, Navtej, my lord, the judgments of this court on the right to marry a person of your own choice, Shafeen and all that, which I will show. If our rights are identical as held by the state, then we want to enjoy the full panoply of our rights.
LGBTQ, I looked it up, it is L, lesbian, G, gay, B, bisexual, T, transgender, Q, queer, I, intersex. And then your lordship says A, asexual. And then your lordship says plus plus. The actual correct thing is, so well, this plus plus is a whole shade, a spectrum.
Assuming you are right that there should be a declaration of the right to marry,
Yes.
then there are 2 courses of action according to you. Either the court then finds a legislative void in that Parliament has not legislated expressly to recognize the right of marry, And therefore, finding a legislative void, you supplant that
Yes.
deficiency so long as Parliament
My
enacts
lord.
law. The other option is to locate the modalities for implementing that declaration
Yes.
in existing law.
While activists welcome this historic hearing, the Supreme Court observed judgment on May 11, 2023. While Centre called it a Western concept, petitioners argued that it is the need of the hour for equal rights. The top court then had observed that it can neither direct legislation nor could give a declaration on anticipation on how the Parliament will look into it. Given that bench ordered it would look at whether the Special Marriage Act of 1954, which allows marriage between people of different castes and religions, could be tweaked to include the LGBTQ community. Commenting on the issue, Union Minister for Women and Child Development had said that it is for the Parliament to decide.
I am an affected party under the Special Marriage Act. I'm married to a Zoroastrian. Okay? This is a sub judice matter. If I'm a party to the Special Marriage Act, as somebody who's married under that act, who would I want to opine on my rights? Constitutionally, it's the job of Parliament. So let the wisdom of Parliament prevail if the issue comes up in front of Parliament.
All eyes remain on the historic verdict on gay marriage in Supreme Court today. Bureau Report, Republic TV.